It is a quirk of the calendar that the last week of Advent is confined to 2 days, the last Sunday of Advent and Monday. You might notice, because of the constraints of time, we've already brought some of the Christmas decorations into the sanctuary. And if you went to the hall, it's all decorated, and the chapel is decorated. Someone suggested that this is like the 2-minute warning in a football game. It's almost over, and something different is going to change. Except I've noticed the 2-minute warning usually lasts for about 15 minutes, so they don't tell time very well there. But for the last few hours that we have left as we prepare to celebrate the birth of Christ, let's think briefly about Christ, who is our hope, Christ, who is our peace, and Christ, who is our wisdom. Perhaps for you, the real preparation for Christmas is allowing the Christ who is our hope to be born again in you. I'm thinking especially of those who are seriously ill or who have real personal problems. All those who see themselves defeated by life. If we are in this predicament, and I have no doubt that some of us are, we certainly need Christ to be our hope and our promise. It doesn't mean that our pain or suffering or sense of disquiet disappears, but it does mean that if we allow Christ, our hope, to be born in us, that the light, we believe that the darkness has been conquered, that the light has come, and that the Lord does not abandon his own. I think all of us can keep in prayer the people of Newtown, Connecticut, who have lost children and loved ones and friends in that senseless tragedy. I just can't imagine the pain and loss the surviving parents will have on Christmas Day. Well, I can't really identify just personally with the emotions that the parents are undergoing. I can intellectually. I did reflect several times this week on the emotional challenge that the pastor of that church must have as he presides over 8 funerals of 6 or 7-year-old kids. Yet we know that Christ is our hope no matter what happens. The pastor was quoted as saying, "Where else would we go in such pain but to church? Where else can we leave our troubles but on the altar?" Christ is our hope. But Christmas is also a time to welcome Christ, who is our peace. We bring our time of preparation to a close, and it would be appropriate for each of us to ask, how can that Prince of Peace be born in me? Do we experience within ourselves a turmoil that causes unrest and discontentment? Are we at war within ourselves? If so, how do we open our minds and hearts to the peace that is Christ? Are we at war with family members and friends? How can we possibly celebrate Christmas, the birth of the Prince of Peace, without at least attempting reconciliation? Finally, Christmas is a time when the question, what is really important, can be asked with some effect. It's not the gifts and the decorations, it's the Christ. While a child might think that it is the gift itself which is important, the person with true wisdom knows that it really is in the giving that we receive. While some may think it's the party, the person of wisdom knows that it's family and friends who gather that give the party meaning. Hope, peace, and wisdom. 3 gifts we should wish for each other as we prepare to celebrate Christmas 2012.